Welcome to 5 Good Minutes. You're listening to today's inspirational message on the fruit of the Spirit with Bjorklund.
Galatians 5 gives us these fruit of the Spirit. And again, fruit is singular. They grow together. And so being patient is an indication of spiritual health. In James chapter 5, verse 10, we see this word macrothumia used again. It says, brothers and sisters, as an example of patience or forbearance in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. As we count as blessed those who have persevered. You have heard of Job's perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy. And so this is talking about being patient. And in James chapter 5, verse 7, you even have this English word used again for patience, where it says, be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and the spring rains. And don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. And so this is again, just a picture of this idea of being patient and not grumbling. Because when you grumble, what you're doing is you're saying, I am not being patient. So one of the ways to experience or grow in patience is to simply refuse to grumble and to make sure that you're waiting for God's hand to show up in a situation. There's a book that came out years ago now. It's called The Love Dare, and it was written for couples who found themselves struggling in their marriage, and especially when one part of the marriage, one spouse was feeling like the other spouse wasn't interested in working on it. And so what they were encouraged to do was to read this Love Dare book and try to do something every day to help repair the marriage and let each day's habit build on the previous day. So you keep doing them so that at the end of 30 days, you're doing all these new patterns that you've introduced into the relationship. And I think it's the first day or maybe the second day that the challenge is to say, don't say anything negative to your spouse or about your spouse, to anybody. Just simply stop grumbling. And what they had found, the people who wrote this, was that if they could just get people to stop speaking negatively about their spouse, it could change the whole dynamic of the marriage. And what James is saying here when it says, be patient, do not grumble against one another. And then it says, once again, you know the example of patience. You know what this looks like. Is it simply saying, I'm not going to speak negatively about people or about situations, because in doing so, what I'm doing is I'm grumbling and I'm embracing the idea of not being forbearing. So what would it look like in your life if you took the Love Dare challenge toward the situations or the people that you are most likely to grumble about? What would it look like if you just simply said, for the next week, I'm not going to complain or grumble about anything? That would be maybe a step toward forbearance in your life and a step toward saying, I'm going to live and have the fruit of the Spirit be evident in the way that I relate to the people in my life. That is a way to bring the fruit of the Spirit into your day-to-day life.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.